Okay, so the first thing we need to do is disconnect the negative battery terminal, because we will need to remove the alternator to get to the AC compressor, and you don't want to create no spark with power and ground when removing the alternator. You also have to make sure you evacuate your high pressure and low pressure lines, so you don't want to have excess pressure when removing the compressor. Now that I have disconnected the battery and evacuated my AC lines, now we need to remove the serpentine belt from the pulley. As you can see, there's a 19mm tensioner there that you will need to put a wrench to take the serpentine belt out. So you're going to take a 19mm, you're going to place it on the tensioner. We're going to remove the serpentine belt. Okay, the tensioner on these vehicles is real tough to move, so just make sure you move it little by little until you can finally take the serpentine belt out. You don't need to take it off completely, just move it to the side so that it won't be on the alternator or in the AC compressor, which is in the bottom. Okay, now we need to take the alternator off, which is this piece here. We need to take this 10mm, you can see, out, as well as the connector, and this is the AC compressor plug that runs all the way down to the compressor. So we're going to take those off first, which is a 10mm. Disconnect this plug and this connector here. Okay. Squeeze this terminal here so it releases. So now make sure to also take this right here, push on this. Okay, now it's time to take the alternator off, which the alternator has this bolt there, as well as a bolt here in the bottom. You should be able to feel it with your hand. And once you take those two bolts off, the alternator should come off. So now we just take the alternator out. It should just come out real easily. You know, put it to the side. Okay guys, now that the alternator is off, we have to take this bracket here, as well as this screw here. You most of the thing, I believe, is a 12mm. Most of these bolts are 12mm. You have to take this bracket out, as well as this tensioner shock here, you know, so we can move it out the way because the compressor's under there. So before you take that bracket off, I didn't think I told you, make sure you go ahead and take the AC lines from the compressor out so you can move them out the way, because it'll give you easier access to take the bolt in the bottom of that bracket off, because this will be out of the way. So make sure you take these two off first, the two AC lines that go to the compressor. By the way, it's two bolts, one right there and right in the bottom. I don't know if you can see where I'm pointing. There's another bolt right there, and that's going to remove this bracket. But you also got to make sure to remove that as well. So as you can see, the bracket is out. There's the two bolts I was talking about, and I also removed the other bolt that holds the tensioner shock right here. So make sure you remove this bracket. Okay, now you're going to need a size 50 torque like this one, and you're going to remove, you know, this is the shock that we, you know, removed previously. Goes up and down. You're going to remove that bolt there, which is a size 50 torque, because we need to clear space so that the AC compressor can come out from the top. So as easy as that just comes out like that. There's a torque. Okay, now we have enough clearance so that the AC compressor can come out to the top. So now, okay guys, so the next step would be to remove these two 12mm bolts, but you also have 2 in the bottom, so you need to either jack up the vehicle, or if you have it on a lift, you have to lift it up all the way and take the 2 bolts that are in the bottom out, and that should remove the compressor. Okay, so we're gonna do that next. I'm gonna raise the vehicle up. So the 2 bolts that I was talking about are those 2 right there. I don't know if you can see them. There's one and there's another one right next to the oil filter. We need to take those off. I'm gonna take those off first. Okay, so I removed the 2 bolts in the bottom. Okay, now I just have to remove these 2, this one and this one, and the compressor should come right out. Okay, you're gonna have to just wiggle it a little bit, you know, for it to come out through the top, but it does come out through the top. I suggest you take it out, you know, pulley first, because you can grab it from the pulley. Just take it straight out. Okay guys, here's the compressor. To me it looks like it's aftermarket, it looks like it's been remanufactured, so this isn't the original compressor. Okay, here's the compressor we're going to install right here. Okay, compressors always come with a sticker that tells you how much oil is in the compressor, which this one says 2.7. I believe the whole system on this Honda takes 6 ounces, but I'm not 100% sure. I have to look into my program that I use for capacity information and see how much. So for right now, we're going to keep this oil in this compressor, and then if we need to add any more, we'll add it when we're charging the system.